What is it like moving from your hometown to Los Angeles to pursue a career in entertainment? I'm gonna tell you. Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Just go ahead and do it now. It costs you nothing. Hit the like button. Let's go. So any career that you're passionate about starts with a thought. It starts with a dream. It starts with something somebody told you as a kid and you believed it. It starts with the first time that you displayed your talent and you got applause for it. It starts at those small moments, those small junctures in your life where everything changes because you've seen yourself almost for the first time. And especially in the West, once we get approval for something, we tend to go in that direction with all of our might. You begin to learn the skills, you meet the people, you start to Google what it is that you need to do in order to get to where you need to go so that you can do it full time. And eventually, if you're from a Midwest city like Kansas City, where I'm from, Cleveland, if you're from Des Moines, if you're from Oklahoma City, you will start to investigate the places where you can make the most out of your career. And here in 2023, and really just since 100 years ago, Los Angeles is the place for entertainment. So naturally, if you're involved in the creation or curation of culture, you might be thinking about moving to Los Angeles. So in one word, moving to Los Angeles for me was tough. So I've been a rapper and a filmmaker from Kansas City, Missouri, and I moved out here in November of 2019. Now you can pretty much guess what happened right after that, but let's add on top of that the complexity of I had kids back in Kansas City that I was working to move out with their mother, who I was with at the time, and eventually they did come out. But for those first few months, and this is the first thing, I was trying to get a stable living situation. So I was living out here. Fortunately, I had a job, and that I'll lump that into your living situation. Like having something going on, having somewhere to work, having some network out here is crucial. It's crucial. I moved to Atlanta in 2008 and I didn't know anybody. And what did I do? I moved right back home because there was no momentum. There was no trajectory for me at that time because I knew no one and I didn't have any way of making any money immediately. So that's step number one, is find you some income, find you a network, and with your network comes money. So a living situation. I was in an Airbnb hostel and it was expensive. Then luckily I knew some people in Los Feliz neighborhood, which is in East Hollywood, that let me stay in their master bedroom, which had a bathroom attached. It was like a little studio apartment, which had, another room that they were renting out to someone while they were in England. Anyway, it was expensive. So I guess that's really the first thing to remember. Los Angeles is expensive, and there's no way to get around it without making some sacrifices. One of those sacrifices is your space. If you cannot afford an apartment on your own, you will be living with other people. And that can get messy. That can get uncomfortable. And that definitely is probably not the convenience you're used to coming from a mid-market to small market where you can afford to have your own place at relatively low cost. And since there are so many people in this city looking for a place to stay, finding a place is competitive. That means that the criteria to get into places is higher. That means that the rents are higher. That means that you will be dropping. I think I spent $500 just on applications while I was looking for my apartment. I like to say Los Angeles usually rewards at the last minute. So if you hang in there and you just try, you make the calls and you go look at the places, because the pictures, if you keep at it, if you keep trying, you will find somewhere that you can call home at least temporarily. So for me, it was a little unique because then in March 2020, days after my kids got to LA, the pandemic, the shutdown, everything stopped, which was actually good for my kids because it was a slow ramp up to all of the hectic aspects of Los Angeles. So let's talk about that. LA is congested. There are plenty of people trying to do their individual things in front of you. So somebody might swerve in front of you. Don't get mad. Somebody might be, pushing their shopping cart across traffic while you're trying to get to work and you only have 5 minutes to get there. Budget your time with plenty of margin for error. If you know you need to be there at 5:30, you need to try to get there by 5. And there are plenty of people in this city who, for the sake of, just believing that they're so good at time management, will try to get there at 5:30 and try to plot it out with traffic and everything. But you also got to take into account parking might be scarce, little to none. You also got to take into account gridlock on the highways. You also got to take into account sometimes Google Maps doesn't accurately time things. Many people will disagree with that, but hey, in my experience, that's the way it is out here. And these are all the complexities of just having so many people in one spot. So with that, if you're pursuing a career in entertainment in this city, you gotta know that you are competing against everybody. And there are plenty of people who look like you, who have similar dreams, who have similar access, who have similar work ethic. And your goal is to be the most you that you can possibly be. Only you can be the you that you are. You feel me? So your goal is to be you and to work harder than those people. And the thing that I'm learning the most is to show up with confidence. You have to realize that you're already the person that you want to become. You got to realize that if you're going to put yourself out there, because what's happened to me in many instances since I've been in this city is you look around and everybody's got something going on, and everybody drives a Lexus or Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Everybody has this level that it seems like they're living at. You never know. You never know out here who is actually living that life fully. So it's up to you to set your own benchmarks and to be confident in who you are, even if you drive in something that you're not proud of, even if your place doesn't look the way that you want it to look, even if you don't feel as confident as you want, you have to show up as you, and you have to show up. I'm preaching to myself. You have to show up ready to put yourself on display, because this place, LA, and this industry, the entertainment industry, is all about being seen, and it's all about providing value with your presence. If you are of value, and I'd venture to guess if you're talented and you're looking at videos like this, you are of value to this market, to this industry. Show up as yourself. And be flexible. The thing I wish I knew when I was in Kansas City making music and making little skits and movies and shit with my friends that I see people doing out here is just work. It doesn't matter if it's not of the quality that you dreamed of, but just keep working, because that's the way that you can put yourself in front of people and be of use and meet people and be flexible enough to take the opportunities that are in front of you. The ones that will give you a better relationship with the people you want to talk to, the ones that will give you more work experience so you can go and get some credits. That flexibility will come in handy because people will see that. And that's the final and most important thing, is people. You can call it networking, you can call it relationships, you can call it quid pro quo, whatever you want to call it. It's crucial that you are the type of person with the soft skills to have a conversation and be interesting or be interested. It's crucial that you are the type of person that can maneuver into a room and find one person that you don't know and have the courage to speak to them. If you don't do these things, you will never understand how important it is to build relationships with people. I didn't understand it. I thought that networking was just, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? But then I actually started making friends. I actually started being of service to people outside of just what I could receive, because I want to contribute to people I like, care about, and believe in. And what you'll notice is that many of those people, not all of them, but many of those people will like you in return. They will care about you in return. And they will contribute because they believe in you. It's incumbent upon you, and me especially, to actually believe the support that's around you. I just had some friends get on me about that the other day. I haven't been good at receiving. And what I'm learning now, or at least what Jordan Lyle just told me, is if you can't accept support at this level, how are you going to accept the support and the love and encouragement and the accolades from people that you have never met when there's a sea of them? You have to practice for your success now. That confidence is key, because when you are in relationship with people who actually believe in you, you don't want to disrespect them by not believing in yourself. Don't waste people's time. Don't waste your time. And the thing I've noticed in Los Angeles, there are two categories you can really separate people in. Those are the people that actually believe that they're going to do what they're going to do. You can call it manifestation. You can call it confidence. You can call it strategic planning. You can call it grit, whatever you want to call it. There are those people and the people that want to do it. The people that want to be there. In the book, The Alchemist, the crystal shop owner says that he doesn't actually want to go to Mecca for his pilgrimage. He wants the belief that he'll go. He wants the desire to go, because if he actually goes, then what is his life now? Because the only thing he's ever wanted has been achieved. I guess I could go die now. And that's how a lot of people are. But you don't know that until you're around people who are actually elevating. And I'm telling you, you can tell in the conversations. Moving to Los Angeles is incredibly rewarding, because once you get to a place where you have a network, you have a community that cares about you and wants you to succeed, and they understand that your success is tied up with their success and vice versa, all of that struggle of finding a place, dealing with gridlock traffic and people running around every which way like a bunch of critters, all of that struggle of trying to figure out how to be flexible and adapt, because this ain't how it is in your hometown. You can always tell, including like me, when I moved here, you can always tell when somebody's newer because they always make comparisons to where they came from. But listen, this is not where you came from. I'd encourage you to do it if you can stand those things, if you have a growth mindset, if you aren't a linear thinker thinking, oh, it's gonna be like this, and then it's gonna be like this, and then it's gonna be like this, and you're able to adapt, meet people, adjust your plans as you go, then I would say Los Angeles is a great place for you to move. You and every person you know has gravity. If you imagine you're your own celestial body, and you have a pull and attraction around you, there's certain people whose gravity is a lot heavier, and they tend to have people orbiting them. They tend to have ideas orbiting them and resources around them because they pull in so much. They're so heavy of a presence that people naturally gravitate toward them. The pitfall is when you don't understand that and you allow yourself to shrink. And what happens as you lose mass is not that things drift away. You explode and those things are repelled. Listen, if you didn't do it at the top of the video, I completely understand, but hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want updates from me, and follow me on Instagram at I am Craig Smith for more. You are the master of your reality, and it's up to us. I think we're going to save the world. I really believe that. And what I'm doing in Los Angeles is trying to bring people together to explore this human experience in all of our creative disciplines so that we can go forward into this world and create new meaning for all people. I'm Craig Smith.